Good morning, everybody, and a happy Thursday morning to you. A big thank you to Aussie Chick on Twitter for the picture above, and you're totally going to understand it as soon as we get into this video a little further. I'm just absolutely shocked, and yet not. So there's a lot, as usual. Let's jump in and get busy, shall we? Let's go. So I would like to start off by saying a big thank you to everybody who's been sending me Christmas cards. Most of you who follow me for a long time know that we have no family. So we don't get cards or anything like that in the mail. So it's a real treat to go get the mail and find these fabulous cards. And a big thank you to my subscriber, Melissa, who wrote me a wonderful note and sent me this package. And inside was a commemorative plate from Princess Diana. It's a numbered plate. I covered the number up on the back. She found it in a thrift store. How wonderful. Thank you so much. It is now on my shelf with my other memorabilia. All right, let's jump in with the royals, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off with Queen Camilla, who hosted an afternoon tea reception for one of the economic abuse charities and survivors at Clarence House. The charity works with the financial services sector to ensure consistent good practice when supporting victim and survivors. It aims to encourage legal, regulatory, and policy reform. Now, for those of you who don't know, 1 in 6 women in the UK experienced economic abuse by a current or former partner in the last 12 months. And that involves controlling somebody else's money, what they can buy, such as housing, food, transport, employment, child maintenance, clothing, phones, and it usually comes alongside other abusive behaviors: physical abuse, psychological abuse, building fear, building isolation. And 95% of domestic abuse cases also involve economic abuse. Well, that's crazy. And even when people leave their abuser, the abuser can still continue to exert control through financial ties, such as stopping paying their share of a joint mortgage or running up debts on a joint account. So Camilla joined a discussion of 3 survivors who shared their lived experiences of economic abuse and the importance of speaking about what they went through to draw attention and help shape action in addressing it. And I have to cover this. Andrew opened up a golf course in 1995 called the Duke's Course. It apparently is in Scotland near St. Andrews. It's going to be renamed to the Craigtown Course, named after a nearby country park. And this is the end of any royal association. Andrew gave up his honorary membership at that club when the whole thing with Epstein happened. Let's move on now to Prince William. We know what happened Tuesday morning. There were massive celebrations. William was marking the 20th anniversary of his time as a patron at Centrepoint. This is the homelessness charity famously supported by Diana, Princess of Wales. They welcomed William to tour their new offices in London to honor the milestone. And during the visit, there was just a lot going on during this visit. Let's see if we can keep up with all of it. Now, first off, obviously, he met people and he took a tour. And during those pictures, let me just tell you that back in November, Centrepoint predicted 23,500 people were going to be facing homelessness this winter. The month before, Centrepoint Helpline confirmed it had supported 50,000 callers less than 8 years after William had officially opened it. Now, we know that William's passion for raising the profile of homelessness charities has spanned several years, and it stems from when he was there with his mother. She used to take both kids on charity visits to meet people less fortunate. She took them to Centrepoint and to The Passage, where William is also a patron. Look at him with that baby. He can't help himself. He then joined a team to create a new Wall of Hope mural co-designed by artist Lanre Olagoki. When the mural is finished, it will celebrate the charity's ambition to end youth homelessness around the UK. Now, this artist is a self-taught painter, has experienced homelessness, and was named in the King's New Year Honors for 2024 for his work for helping young people across the arts. Now, as he's continuing his tour, at some point, he was presented with a huge purple cake. And before he put a knife in the top of this cake, this is what William said, and I'm quoting, Many of you have been here many more years than that, talking about the 20 years, and it's an amazing moment to think in 20 years how much has changed and been achieved by all of you. The Centerpoint family is one I am very proud to be part of, and I can't thank you all for the hard work every day you give to help other people. It's fantastic, and that massive cake signifies the love and the generosity and the time you all give to helping other people, so make sure you all take a piece. That is a beautiful cake, and my God, that thing is huge. Now, you have to know that when Prince William agreed to become the patron of Centerpoint 2 decades ago, it's being said that he made his intentions very clear. The chief executive, Mr. O'Backen, said that Prince William stipulated from the outset that he had no interest in being an ornamental patron, a figurehead without substance, kind of like what Harry does with Wellchild. The CEO said that William told him he wanted to get involved, understand what's going on, know how he could help, and he's been true to his word in every sense. He goes, William's active engagement has made a tangible difference. Some of the things we've been able to do, we would not have been able to do without his patronage. I'm sure most of you remember back in 2009, Prince William spent the night on the streets in an unconventional engagement designed to highlight the plight of homeless people. And it was Mr. O'Backen who spent the night with him on the streets. Now, as the event was coming to an end and William started walking to his car, he noticed a guy behind the barricade holding flowers, and so they brought him around so he could talk to William. He's royal fan John Lowry, and he had quite a lengthy discussion with William and then handed these gorgeous flowers to Prince William and said, please give these to Catherine. Now, you should know, if you see the pictures, this is obviously a man talking to William, but of course they've reported it as a elderly female. That ain't it. But I will say, these gestures clearly highlight the public support and affection for Princess Catherine and Prince William, as well as the shared concern the public has for her well-being during her recovery. And if you look at William's face, it's so obvious how much he appreciates the public, their kindness and their caring for his wife. I mean, he didn't even rush the conversation. So long as this person was talking, William was standing there listening. That's one of the things about this guy, And I think that it's a wonderful thing that he's doing to honor his mother's legacy. One son has to do it for sure. All right, let's keep going. Next up, we have the Duchess of Gloucester, 79 years old. She's fabulous. She's the patron of the charity Missing People. She attended the Evening of Hope and Remembrance service at St. Mary Abbott's Parish Church in London. This occurred on Monday night. It was titled A Light in the Dark. She arrived by herself. There was a little bit of a gathering alongside. And the idea behind this is to stand with people and families who are missing loved ones this Christmas. These are very sensitive engagements, and she can personally offer comfort to people who have a difficult time during the season, and she's good at that. Let's move on to Princess Anne. Her and Sir Tim Lawrence's Christmas card came out. Now, they didn't release it. It was released by the governor of Queensland, who put it up. It's a gorgeous image of the two of them riding in a carriage during their visit to Sark as the Channel Islands marked Liberation Day on May 10th. It was taken by Aaron Chown, and it showed them smiling as they were traveling by horse and carriage on a narrow walkway, and with a very nice message, the best wishes for a happy and peaceful Christmas and New Year. And I think it's nice. No need to blow the trumpet with the princess title. It's impactful without being overly ostentatious, but then that's Anne, isn't it? All right, let's move on to King Charles. He did some investitures. First up, we had the Right Honorable Dame Penelope Mordaunt. Lately, Lord President of the Privy Council, leader of the House of Commons, and member of Parliament for Portsmouth North, she was made a Dame Commander of the British Empire. And next up, another person who was invested was Claudia Winkleman. Can I just say I love this white pantsuit she's wearing. It looks like it really suits her. She received an MBE from the King for services to broadcasting. Now, it could just be me, but it looks like to me like she would be a lot of fun to hang out with. Moving on, we also had Mr. Andrew Lapthorne from Maidenhead. He was made a member of the Order of the British Empire for services to tennis. And by the way, these all took place at Windsor Castle. All right, let's move on to our Harry stuff. I already told you that his case was in jeopardy. He's having all kinds of problems. So on Tuesday, there was a ruling. Two judges said the claimants, you got Prince Harry, Baroness Lawrence of Clarendon, that they needed to have the clearest possible understanding of how the case was being conducted in the face of spiraling legal fees. Now, it raised the prospect of the 7 claimants suing the publishers of the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday being landed with a multi-million-pound cost bill if they lose. But it also suggested that if only some win, then those who lose will be left with a much larger and potentially crippling debt burden. Unbelievable. Judge David Cook and Mr. Justice Nicklin said that, we want to make sure it's clear to all the claimants that they are going to risk paying substantial costs in the event of a legal defeat. Now, I could be wrong, but my take on this is the judge is giving him a warning. Warning, this case is not looking good, and you're going to be on the hook for a lot of money you may want to reconsider. That's what I'm seeing. Sounds to me like the judge is trying to get them to drop it because he knows they're going to lose. All right. The next thing is, we know whenever anything happens, Harry and Meghan like to step up and make it sound like they made it happen or they had something to do with this. So they issued a joint statement on their Archwell site because Australia decided to ban people that are 16 and under from social media. So of course, because they've basically preached to the masses about the dangers of social media, they say it shouldn't have come to this. We celebrate Australia's leadership for seeing and acting on how these technology companies are negatively impacting young people with little to no resource or accountability, and feeble efforts from the companies to stem the flow of harms. So what essentially happened is social media sites were told they were going to be fined up to $50 million if they didn't take steps to disable accounts of underage users. And then the Australian Prime Minister described the move as, quote, the day when Australian families are taking power back from the big tech company. So then Harry and Meghan go on, this bold, decisive action to protect children at a critical moment in their development sends a strong signal that a child's mind is not a commodity to be exploited. It buys young people valuable time back in their childhoods, but it doesn't fix the fundamental issue we all still face with social media platforms. Sounds like what Catherine says, doesn't it? They're trying to cozy in on Catherine's agendas. Then they signed off with, quote, we look forward to the next step to hold tech accountable for its design choices and hope leaders of new technologies learn the lessons of failing to prioritize the well-being of young people. The world is watching to see if they'll finally take responsibility and make the changes the world so desperately needs. But what it comes down to is Harry and Meghan had absolutely nothing to do with this decision. They've just been yakking on because they're upset. When their kids get older, they're going to be able to search the web and find all the crappy things Harry and Meghan have done. And ain't nothing going to stop that from happening. Let's move on again to an update on the whole Meghan Markle Thomas thing. Once again, we're hearing all these stories. She's planning to reach out. She's hoping to get a letter to him. As soon as she identifies the Philippine hospital where he's been recovering, these are excuses. We've already heard all the excuses. We contacted him. No, we didn't. We sent an email. He didn't get the email. We don't know where he's staying. Somebody called the embassy. Back and forth, back and forth. Does anybody believe that Meghan Markle sat there personally calling hospitals to try to locate her father? All it would take is a Google search. This is a woman who could get anybody's phone number anywhere at any time throughout the years, even unlisted numbers. You guys remember when she cold called those senators with Gloria Steinem that time? And people were wondering, how did she get that phone number? So, people just aren't taking this excuse anymore. It's PR, reputational management. She's in trouble. Nobody believes these stories. And anybody who's working for her, I'm pretty sure, is advising her to cut it out. And what we heard is she didn't want to contact her father because a Daily Mail reporter remained at his bedside throughout, broadcasting each interaction and breaching ethical boundaries. And so it's been hard for Meghan to contact her father privately despite her efforts over the past few days. I'm telling you, all she had to do was tell the guy to leave the room, and she could go on. But anyway, the articles are now saying that with the support of reliable and trusted contacts, her correspondence is now safely in his hands, and he has received a letter. So she still hasn't called him. She's not speaking to him. She sent a letter. And of course, this information came from Meghan's People magazine, her go-to on-tap dial, magazine that she gives all of her information to. So this is progress towards renewed communication. There's been no direct contact. And I think this is another setup. I think this is another Dear Daddy letter. I think we know that at some point, somebody is going to say the contents of those letters, and she's going to go, see, I told you he couldn't be trusted. This is exactly why I haven't bothered to communicate with him. He can't be trusted. Get it? That's it. Now, here's the part that I read that absolutely threw me for a loop. Let's not forget Samantha Markle, who's in the United States, who cannot travel. She's in a wheelchair. Understandably, she cannot be by her father's side. However, she put up a very interesting tweet. It would appear that Thomas Markle Jr. wants a Netflix deal, and Meghan Markle doesn't want to reunite with her father without a Netflix deal in place. She wants to get money. So what's being said is that Meghan is the one who contacted the U.S. officials to reach Thomas Markle because of the media frenzy surrounding him and quote-unquote past breaches of trust, including him leaking private letters, making her cautious about direct communication while still needing to ensure his welfare. Ensure his welfare? Okay. Well, did she pay for the ridiculously large hospital bill that's piling up? Oh my God. You guys know what I want. Put those comments down, make them good. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications. Then go down into the description box where you'll find the link to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, a link to my second channel, a link to my father's book, which is still up for sale on Amazon, a link to my Amazon wish list, as well as a physical address. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.